Thanks for that. I didn't notice that my mic wasn't working. That's still a thing. When I was on Twitch every day, that used to happen to me, where like the mic was plugged in, but it like wasn't picking up the sound. But thanks for the heads up, Jack. Hello. I can see that it wasn't working and is now working. Give me one more little second. But yeah, look, I wasn't bang on 5, but it was like 2 minutes past 5, so it's basically 5 for my standards. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just had to put that in Discord quickly. Copy that message as well, and put that in here. There we go. Perfect. I really need to automate all that stuff. I really need to. Hello, Jack. How you doing? I always accidentally mute mine without fail. It happens. Yeah, that's the thing. Mine wasn't even muted. It's just been a thing. So I have like I don't have like a top tier mic. I don't have like a Shure or anything. I don't have like an audio soundboard. I just use like a physical one. I have a virtual one. So this mic's USB, and sometimes the USB just becomes loose or whatever, and that's what happens. That's what happens, basically. It just doesn't pick up sometimes. Right. Oh my god. Hello, Mick. What's the crack? How you doing, sir? How we doing, guys? Happy Friday. Hope you're all having a good weekend so far. It's like 5 o'clock now, so everyone's basically officially getting out of work, I assume. I should probably switch my screen, shouldn't it, to like the screen that we need to see right now. So, pretty much the plan today is, for anybody who didn't watch the video yesterday that I posted, I'm just going to like show you my provisional team for game week 10, talk through some of the players that I'm definitely keeping, some of the players I'm potentially transferring out because I still haven't made my transfers yet, and then we're going to scroll through Twitter, see if we can get any sort of team news, and yeah, hopefully we get some good team news so that I can actually make the transfers I want to make. Oh no, you're going to be able to see my face. I'm just going to move up to the corner. But I thought I would start the stream by just having my face like absolutely huge here. So yeah, here I am. Hello. And now I'm going to move to here. Hello. So I'm up here now. So anybody who watched the video I posted yesterday, hold on a second, just before I go any further. I just want to double check. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure there was no music coming through on stream, because obviously YouTube would just like cancel my entire channel if I played any copyrighted music. Okay, perfect. Right. Jeez. Just making sure. Just a heads up as well. I'm pretty sure that there is a little bit of a delay on the stream. I don't know. That's not intentional. So if I reply to a question late or anything, I do apologize. Maybe my YouTube streaming settings aren't like properly set up, so it's not like an instantaneous stream. It looks like there's a little bit of a delay on my side, but should be good. Should be good. But yeah, just a heads up in case I reply to a question late. That's that would be why. So yes, as you can see, game week 10 team. So Areola, I'll just go through it one by one in terms of players that are 100% nailed on for this week, and then players who aren't potentially getting transferred out, basically. So Areola's nailed on. He's going to be playing against Everton at home. In all honesty, like, I hope that he keeps a clean sheet there, but I'm not fully expecting one, to be honest, because I don't know if I can actually find any statistics to back this up. I seen it somewhere that Everton were actually outperforming Man City in terms of XG. I don't know if that is 100% accurate. Yeah. Yeah, that's what. So, I mean, I don't know if this is correct now. This was correct as of. I'll put a tweet up on the screen here. This was correct as of October 19th. So it is a bit old. But Everton had actually created more XG than City this season, but obviously weren't taking their chances. Obviously, if they continue to underperform their XG, then that looks good for Areola. He probably will keep a clean sheet, but I don't expect Everton. I don't know. I don't like. It's a tough one. Everton just don't have any great strikers, isn't it? So they're creating a lot of chances and they're not scoring goals. But if they keep creating that amount of chances, eventually they're going to start scoring goals, even if it's against West Ham. And to be honest, as well, like looking through West Ham's games, they've only kept one clean sheet this season. And that's weird to me because I had the perception that West Ham were actually a good defensive team, but they've literally kept one clean sheet this whole season. So any I'm just looking here. He had Ariola got 10 points against Chelsea, but that was just from saves, basically, wasn't it? They said that stat in the derby. I think they've had the most shots in the league or close to. Yeah. So basically, like Everton are not playing as badly as people think they're playing, but they just are not scoring. That's literally all it is. They're just not converting their chances. So I'm hoping that it continues to be that way for this fixture. But yeah, that's the point I was making. I wouldn't be surprised if Ariola conceded because West Ham don't seem to be keeping clean sheets this season, which is weird because the way West Ham set up, obviously Moyes doesn't give a fuck about trying to play like possession football, total football. Like he's not trying to play like Pep Guardiola or fucking anyone like that. He's just sitting back and counter-attacking. So I would expect them to be keeping more clean sheets doing that. But that's just kind of, to be honest, there isn't really much teams keeping clean sheets right now. Let me just double check that actually as well. We're just going to like pull up random stats here while I rant. Who's got the most clean sheets in the league this season? Clean sheets. Nick Pope with 4. Yeah, so Newcastle have the, and then obviously he's tied with Vicario at Spurs. So, I mean, like, I don't know. There's just not a lot of clean sheets happening, is there? That speaks volumes for the quality of the league, to be honest. Because every team's just capable of scoring. Like City are obviously they're not top of the league, but they're the best team in the league, and they've only kept 3 clean sheets. They didn't really keep loads of clean sheets last year either, did they? It just we're at that stage now where like all you need to do is just outscore teams, and just as long as you're conceding no more than one or maybe 2 goals a game, you're fine. But yes, so Ariola, yeah, so he's nailed on, even though he's not guaranteed to keep a clean sheet. He's probably, I mean, I'm not going to play Turner away to Liverpool, so that's pretty much settled. I don't really know. Like, I was confident coming into the start of the season when I was talking about goalkeepers. I was saying that the best choices were Onana, Martinez. Obviously, Onana hasn't worked out exactly how I would have expected. That isn't me saying that Onana's a bad keeper, by the way, because I really don't think he is. I think the internet just loves the meme Man United players. But United as a team just aren't defending well enough. I know United are like top of the league in terms of like pressing in the opposition half and in the midfield. So they're winning the ball back high, but they're not doing anything with it once they're actually turning the ball over. And then defensively, like maybe that's to do with the press being too aggressive and then they're leaving themselves defensively open. Because they're just conceding goals for fun right now. Not basically the point I'm making is it's not all Onana's fault. It's like a team structure thing. The reason why United aren't keeping clean sheets. So yeah, pretty much. I just don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone has this approach when it comes to goalkeepers right now. They're just going as cheap as possible because no one really seems to be nailed on for clean sheets. Because even Liverpool, you would look at Alisson. Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the league, in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinion as well. And he's not keeping clean sheets because Liverpool, the way they're set up to play, like they leave themselves open sometimes to counterattacks. This is how it is. So yeah, I don't really think goalkeeper is something to worry about right now. Everyone's just going cheap on the goalkeeper because it's so hard to get all the players you want into your team, and nobody's keeping a serious amount of clean sheets right now. No one seemed defensively stunning whilst also being good still. Exactly, Jack. Yeah, yep. And the one team I would have expected to like be at least solid defensively would have been West Ham because of the way they set up, the way they play like more negative football. Like obviously they're still like exciting to watch on the counter attack and everything, but they're setting up to negate the opposition and then burst into the space that the opposition leave. So I would have expected them to have a lot more clean sheets than what they do. Obviously, there's still like a long season ahead, so that could change. But yeah, looking at those like results recently, to be fair, there has been some difficult fixtures in there, but like they're not even keeping clean sheets to the likes of Bournemouth, to the likes of Luton, to the likes well, obviously they kept one against Sheffield, but yeah, there was like Luton and Bournemouth and everything. There are the games you'd expect them to keep clean sheets in. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm basically just going to keep Areola because he's the cheapest goalkeeper right now in terms of cheapest starting goalkeeper, along with Turner. The thing about Turner is I'm not 100% sure if he's going to keep his place, but he's got his place at the moment, so he's probably the best backup option for a goalkeeper right now. Still, yo, Stu, what's good? How you doing, man? You sexy bitch. I miss you. I hope you're well. Love you all. Yo, I love you too, Stu. Hope you're well, man. I was actually like you popped into my head yesterday, I think it was, and I was gonna message you, but then I got like distracted by something else, aka work. But I hope you're well, Stu. It's good to see you. So yeah, Areola nailed on my team, and then the three defenders. Only one of them is nailed on for this week, and it's Luton. It's Luton. It's Cash against Luton. And then Trippier and Udogie are potential transfers out. So, like I said, for anybody who's in my Discord, I'm kind of just waiting at the moment to see if we get any sort of early team news on Spurs. So the latest, I'll pull up the latest update I seen on Udogie. Give me 1 second. Shared this in the Discord earlier, so let me just pull that up on the screen. Where did I put this link? I can't find my link. There we go. Right, my bad. So this is this is from a guy who is pretty reliable when it comes to Spurs news, Paul O'Keefe. And he was basically saying that. So someone asked him, is Udogie available for tomorrow, or is he still yet to be assessed? And this guy said Udogie's fine and he's available for selection, but so is Davis. Obviously, Davis is the other left back for Spurs. And then they also have Emerson Royale, who could cover as an inverted left back. But yeah, he's basically said like he's available and it's up to Postecoglou. So yeah. Oh yeah, I love those memes, Jack. Yeah, I love it, bro. That makes my Friday every Friday. Seeing that, it's class. I'll message you later on for a chin wag. Okay, no worries at all, Stu. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, so basically this guy, like I said, reliable for Spurs news. He's basically saying Udogie is fit and available for selection. So there's every chance that he starts. And then obviously the Spurs next game after this isn't until, let me just double check here, the 27th of October, or what's today? The 6th of November against Chelsea. So there's a good week. It's longer than a week, actually. That is a week and like 4 days. So a week and 3 days, a week and 4 days. Because obviously Spurs aren't playing in Europe this season and they're out of the Carabao Cup already. So yeah, basically, I wouldn't be surprised if Udogie starts today, because he's not going to have to play again for like a week and a few days. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just like play him, because they know that he's going to have a long rest after this. So I'm hoping that's what happens. It's destiny. He starts. I hope you're right. I know you're just saying that for the pun, but I hope you're right. Because obviously if Udogie does start, that means I've got my 2 free transfers. I don't have to use. I mean, ideally, I'm going to have to make a defensive transfer eventually anyway, but my plan, like I mentioned in yesterday's video for my 2 free transfers, was to get Saka in and get Richarlison out. So I'll show that now. So it would have been Saka in, Richarlison out. That leaves me with minus 1.8. So in order to fit Saka in, I would either have to take Trippier out and bring Tsimikas in. Let me just put Tsimikas in here quickly to show that fits the budget. Tsimikas in. Another player I wanted to bring in was Soufal from West Ham, but he's a doubt. He's flagged at the moment, so I can't bring him in right now. So it'll be Tsimikas. Tsimikas is obviously Liverpool's starting left back at the moment because Robertson is out with a long-term injury, and his fixtures are pretty good for the next while, pretty much right up until like game week 17. He does have City in the middle of that, but apart from that City game, which you could rotate him out for if you have a good defender. If you have a good fourth defender, you could just rotate him out for that game and then play him in the rest. So he pretty much sorts out your long term future. Yeah, Simicast is a great shout just because he's 4.5 mil. So he's cheap, and Robertson's injured. So yeah, Simicast down. I could do Trippier down to Simicast, and then that leaves me with 0.6 million in the bank, meaning I've got Saka in and I've got Simicast for long term cover. Obviously, I don't want to go without Trippier, but if you look at Trippier's fixtures, they're not as good as what they were previously. So his last 5 games were Crystal Palace, West Ham, Burnley, Sheffield, Brentford. So all really, really good fixtures, and he performed excellent in them. Wolves isn't a bad fixture for him. Wolves away is a tough fixture, to be honest, because obviously I'm sounding a bit contradictory right now. Wolves away is a difficult fixture because they've just beat City at home recently. But I would expect Trippier. I wouldn't expect him to get a clean sheet in the game, but I would expect him to have a good chance of getting an assist or something. Because he spends so much time in the opposition half. So yeah, Wolves isn't a bad fixture. It's a bit of a 50-50. Arsenal at home's a bad fixture. So I don't expect him to keep a clean sheet in that. But you know, with the form he's in, with his set piece delivery, he could still return in that. Bournemouth away is a really good fixture, and then he's got Chelsea and United at home, which are not like ideal fixtures either, but at least all the difficult fixtures against the big 6 are all at home, so it's not the worst thing in the world if you have Trippier in your team for the next 5, but yeah, he's basically just one option. He's one player that I could take out in order to accommodate Saka. The other thing I could do is keep Trippier and then take obviously I have to solve that minus 1.8 problem. So the other thing I could do is take Son out and bring in either Bowen, which would leave me 0.2 million in the bank. Bowen has really good long-term fixtures. He's got Everton, Brentford, Forest, Burnley, Palace. Spurs are in there, but then Fulham and Wolves. So again, it's a similar situation to Simicast. He sorts you right out until like game week 17. But as good as Bowen is right now in terms of the form he is in, obviously the player that I would rather bring in would be Matoma. Let me just put him in the team. And the reason I would rather have Matoma over Bowen is 1, he's 0.9 million cheaper. 2, his fixtures are also good. Now they're not good right up until game week 17, like Bowen's are, but they're really good for the next 4. They're okay for 2 after that, then they're really good game week 16. You see my dog just wrecking the place in the background, by the way. What the hell? Yeah, so I like Matoma's fixtures. He's nearly 1 million cheaper, 0.9 million cheaper. And he also frees up, because he's 0.9 million cheaper, he frees up money for me to use on bringing a 4th defender in, so I could he leaves me with 1.1 million in the bank if I downgrade Son to Matoma. It means I could go from Kabore to the likes of Soufal when he's fit again. Then I have a really good 4th defender, 0.5 million in the bank. I could even bring Gabriel in for 4.7 million if I wanted. He's got pretty good fixtures for the next while, so it allows me to get a good 4th defender on my in my team. And then it also means that I could, so let me just bring in Soufal again, because he's the one I was edging towards. So Soufal, he would be my 4th defender. He's got good fixtures for the long term with West Ham, like what I spoke about. And then that would still leave me with 0.5 million in the bank. And then I could get rid of Anderson and go to like a better midfielder. Obviously, before Saka went up in price, I could have afforded, I could have got Palmer, and Palmer was 4.9 million. So I could have got Palmer in before he went up in price. Obviously, Saka went up in price out of nowhere today. It wasn't expected that he was going to go up in price because he only just dropped recently. So I'm priced out of Palmer there, but you get what I'm saying. Basically, it allows me to sort of mess around with the team a bit more, gives me more funds. So that's my thinking with Matoma. Basically, I think Matoma gives me a bit more flexibility with the team. But yeah, I don't know. then obviously to do all that, it means taking out Son, and Son's playing number 9 for Spurs, and Spurs are top of the league for a reason right now because they're playing fantastic football. So I don't know. That's the issue I'm having right now. I can't decide. Obviously, this is all assuming that Udogie's fit. Because if Udogie isn't fit, and if I get a leak here saying that Udogie's not going to play, then I'm going to have to take Udogie out, or I'm going to have to like upgrade one of the weaker defenders, so that I can have cover for Udogie this game week. So that's my headache at the moment. So yeah, we're pretty much just chilling, waiting to see if we get any Udogie news. The deadline's at 6:30, so we've still got just over an hour to make that decision. If we get Udogie news and it's confirmed that he's starting, which fingers crossed he does, then I pretty much just have to pick between removing Trippier from my team or removing Son from my team. If I remove Trippier from my team, I'll bring in Tsimikas and Saka. And if I remove Son from my team, then I'll bring in Saka and Matoma. And I would rather bring in Saka and Matoma for like their fixtures, their upcoming fixtures. But I also don't want to lose Son. But that's the same with FPL. You know, you can't have everyone. You can't have every player you want. You have to, something has to give somewhere, you know. Yeah, and obviously I didn't really cover it either, but Son's fixtures are about to turn really as well. So I don't know about Son. Like I don't look at Son and think that he's like I look at, let me think of an example. Like Saka, obviously Saka I want to bring in. I look at Saka and I'm like, he has a strong chance to return every game. That's how I feel about Saka. But I don't have that feeling about Son. Now, there's no like statistical reason for me having that feeling about Son. There's no like data that I've seen that's making me think that Son is not a good pick, because he is a good pick. But I've just always had that feeling about Son, and it's kind of similar to Rashford. And I wish I wasn't saying this because I absolutely love Rashford as a United fan, but it just feels like Son and Rashford have those little purple patches where like they do really, really well for a few games, and then all of a sudden, obviously this is excusing Rashford last season because Rashford last season was insane. Like Rashford was like so consistent last season, but like prior to last season, like Rashford just has those runs where like he's really, really good, and then he has those runs where like he's not terrible, but he's just not scoring goals. So I feel the same about Son. I feel like I have that feeling about Son where like he could score a hat trick one game and then he'll blank the next game, and that's exactly what he's been doing. The first 3 games of the season, he blanked all 3. Obviously, he played those in the left wing, so that has to be taken into consideration. His XG in those games were really, really low. He moved to number 9 straight away, bags a hat trick, but he played number 9 against Sheffield United as well, blanked. Then he scores 2 against Arsenal. Then he scores 1 against Liverpool. Then he blanks against Luton. Granted that Luton went down to 10 men, and then scores and assists against Fulham. So you could argue that maybe he's turned the corner since he's, you know, been moved to the number 9. But even like there was no excuse for him not to score in that Sheffield game. That was Sheffield United at home. Like that's meant to be one of the easiest fixtures in the league. So I don't know. Like, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because I think you can't really judge it off the past too much. Like you can't judge it off Spurs in the last couple of seasons because I think Postecoglou's kind of transformed them to have a completely different mindset to the way they play football now. They were playing under like really negative managers before, and now they're playing under Postecoglou, who's pretty much just like keep running and keep pressing and keep trying to score until the final whistle goes. He's relentless. So yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one because as Jags just mentioned in the chat, the only issue with Son is his price. He's the highest priced midfielder. Obviously bar Salah. So when you have him and Salah and Haaland and Watkins and Alvarez and Saka, it's like something has to give. Like someone has to go. Now Ben, hello by the way, good to see you. You're still in work. I hope work's going well for you, man. I hope you're finished soon. Can't go without Trippier. I think you can go without Trippier. I really do think you can. I don't want to go without Trippier, but I think it's possible that you can go without him and outscore. Like, this is the dilemma that I'm having, Jags, that I'm explaining. So this is my team as it stands with no transfers made. Richarlison is out. Like, I'm not keeping Richarlison another week. He was a 2-game punt. It paid off for the 2 games, but I'm not hanging on any longer. The one player that has to come in for me this week is Saka, so that's the automatic transfer. Obviously, that leaves me with minus 1.8 in the bank, and then you have to make a decision on which premium player you're going to take out. I'm not going to take out Watkins because his fixtures are insane. Don't really want to take out Alvarez because even though his fixtures are a little bit more difficult, he's the inform City attacker. He's the one in the best form out of all the City attackers, including Haaland. So I'm not going to remove Alvarez because he kind of seems like inevitable at the moment. I'm not going to remove Haaland. I know I've seen a lot of people have done that. That is an option, but I'm not going to do it because even though he's not like scoring as much as he's expected to right now, his underlying stats, obviously barring the Arsenal and Wolves game because he was terrible in those games, but his underlying stats for the entire season, he's averaging 0.91 XG per 90. I believe he has the best non-penalty XG in the league as well. I don't know if I can pull those stats up, but I did see them on Twitter the other day. So Salah has the highest XG in the league right now, but that's obviously heavily inflated because he's had several penalties in the last couple of weeks. But Haaland has the highest non-penalty XG. So it's kind of just like it's only a matter of time before he starts scoring a mad amount of goals again. Maybe he won't hit the heights that he hit last season because it would be crazy to like do that every single season. But he's still going to score like 25 to 30 goals a season. So he's a long-term hold. I don't really want to go without him because, like Jack just said in the chat, Haaland is in a weird spot, but literally he'll just go and score 5 goals the next game as soon as you get rid of him. So I think it's too much of a risk to get rid of him. And I don't like to play the game based on ownership percentages, but you do have to consider the fact that even though a lot of people have got rid of Haaland recently because he had like 95% plus ownership recently, it's down to 84% now. So it is nice to see that people, are taking risks, but 84% is still a lot of players. And if he has a really good week and you don't have him, you're getting a red arrow either way. If he scores a hat trick and you don't have Haaland, there's no chance you're getting those points covered with all the other players available. So Haaland, basically, I'm not getting rid of him. So then that leaves me with 3 other premium players that I can remove. I'm obviously not going to remove Salah because he's banging form right now and his fixtures are great. So that leaves Son and Trippier, who have tricky fixtures, like I mentioned in yesterday's video. So then it basically becomes like a competition. Saka's the most owned mid. Yeah, I know that. And so that's another problem as well. If you don't bring Saka in and he has a really good game against Sheffield United, that's another issue. So you're going to have a lot of people outscoring you. So yeah, I definitely want Saka in, not just for this game week, but it would also be for Burnley at home, Wolves at home, Luton away, and then obviously that run after the Brighton and Liverpool games where he gets to play West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Forest. So I think Saka, he was always going to be a long-term hold for me. The only reason I got rid of him a couple of weeks ago was because he was carrying a knock and I wildcarded. So Son had better fixtures and it paid off. But yeah, Jags, I am kind of edging towards removing Son. That is kind of what I'm thinking. But it's a tough one. It's a tough one because Trippier and Son are both great assets, but it's definitely between Trippier and Son. The only reason I'm edging towards removing Son over Trippier isn't because I think Trippier is going to outscore Son. I think Son could probably outscore Trippier in the next few game weeks with both of their fixtures considered. If you look at Trippier's fixtures, are not ideal. Wolves away, tricky. Arsenal at home, difficult. Bournemouth away, good fixture. Chelsea at home, hard. United, hard. And then he does have a decent run after that. But yeah, Trippier is probably going to be outscored by Son in the next game weeks. But what I was saying is the thing that's making me think that I can get away with removing Son is that I can bring Matoma in for him, and Matoma's fixtures are great for the next while. Obviously, I just have to hope that De Zerbi doesn't suddenly try and rotate him again, because he did try and rotate him one game against Bournemouth, come off the bench and score two, and then he's been playing 90 minutes ever since that. I believe he played another 90 minutes on Thursday night there, but yeah, Matoma seems to be like the nailed on Bournemouth attacker, but there is players who can play his position. There is Ansu Fati who can play his position. João Pedro can play left wing as well. But yeah, I don't know. I just like the feel of Matoma. I think Matoma could definitely outscore Son in the next 5 games just with the fixtures, purely based on fixtures. If you're basing it on form, then Son 100% is a better pick. But yeah, that's the reason why I think I could get away removing Son, because there's better options in midfield. Like if I keep Son and then I remove Trippier and I go to Tsimikas, there's every chance that Tsimikas keeps as much clean sheets as Trippier does in the next, if not more, in the next 5 game weeks. Because obviously we've seen, let me just put the fixtures up for Tsimikas here. So these are Tsimikas' fixtures for the next 5: Forest, Luton, Brentford, City, Fulham. So they're good fixtures, bar the City game. He has a good chance of keeping a clean sheet in several of those games. Whereas in Newcastle, the fixtures are a bit more tricky. I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal. They might keep one against Wolves. I don't know though, because the likes of Neto and Wine are actually firing for Wolves right now. They'll probably keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth. I don't expect them to keep one against Chelsea and United. As bad as Chelsea and United are this season, like they're not hitting the heights that people thought they were going to hit before the season started. They're still probably going to score against Newcastle, even if it is at St James Park. So I don't know. It's a difficult one. But yeah, I'm edging towards Saka and Matoma. Trippier. I think Trippier takes some of the corners. Not all of them though. I don't think he takes the ones, like sometimes he'll go to the left and take them, but I've seen Gordon take some as well, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm 100% correct in that. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But Tsimikas you're talking about? Yeah, Tsimikas takes corners. Yeah, from the left side. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Tsimikas takes corners. So I mean that's a good chance of him getting a goal there, because obviously Liverpool have some good height in their team. They've got the likes of Van Dijk, they've got the likes of Konate coming up from corners, so Tsimikas could definitely get an assist. So yeah, I don't know, it's a difficult one. Tsimikas could easily outscore Trippier in the next few weeks, but the thing that really makes me want to just like, the thing that's making me want to get rid of Son instead of Trippier is Matoma. I think Matoma's going to do really well over these next 4, especially the Fulham at home game and the Sheffield at home game. It wouldn't surprise me if Matoma blanked or got very little returns against Everton away and Forest away, because they are like slightly difficult fixtures. I think Brighton will still score in them, but they are slightly difficult fixtures. But that Fulham at home game and the Sheffield United at home game, Fulham's defense has been terrible and Sheffield's defense has been terrible, and it's Brighton playing at home. So that's why I'm edging towards Matoma. Yo, what's good, Alan? How we doing, man? How we doing, Seed? So let me just quickly search Udogie's name again and see if we get any updates on him. Nothing yet. This is a lot of people. Don't, by the way, see anybody who sees this page, just ignore it. This page literally just guesses. This page leaked lineups is just a lot of shit. It's literally just bullshit. So if you see it on Twitter, like saying, "Oh, this player's starting," I shared a couple of their posts in Discord last week, and like they got about 3 leaks wrong. So just don't believe anything you see from this page. This guy Paul O'Keefe is apparently reliable. The guy that page is quoting. But this was yesterday at 9 p.m. saying that Udogie's available for selection. But it's up to the manager who starts. But yeah, just don't believe that page. Do not believe anything that page says, because they are guessing. They're just guessing. So Jags, you've done Son and Matoma this week to fund Watkins. Have you got? So did you do like a double transfer then, or have you got Watkins already? Obviously, just while we're talking on like downgrading Son to another player, another option you do have is Diaby. I know a lot of people still have him, 13% ownership, so there's a decent amount. His fixtures are great for the next three: Luton at home, Forest away, Fulham at home, and then he obviously has Spurs and then Bournemouth after that. So pretty much right up until game week 14, he's a good pick. I think Matoma is still a better option than him though. I don't know about Diaby. He seems like he's a good player. He could definitely go like bag a couple. He could definitely go bag a couple against Luton tomorrow or Sunday. Sorry, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Diaby. He seems a bit patchy. Like he seems a bit inconsistent. So Watkins is the main Villa asset you want anyway. And the thing that puts me off Diaby, to be honest, is I don't want to do a Villa triple up, because if I do Diaby, then I've already got cash and I've already got Watkins, and I don't want to do a triple up. So that's Matoma or Bowen is the choice I have to make. And like I mentioned earlier, if I go Bowen, it only leaves me with 0.2 million in the bank, and then it means that I won't have a lot of money to be able to up. Because the thing I need right now, as you can see, this Udogie like fitness scare has really showed how bad my depth is defensively, because Lamptey's out injured, Kabore's not really playing minutes, plus he plays for a terrible defense. So I need a good fourth defender, and if I go for Bowen, yes, he's probably a really good pick long term in terms of his fixtures, as you can see. But if I go for him, it doesn't leave me enough money to upgrade to a fourth defender. Yeah, exactly what Sid said. Just I don't like the Villa triple up. I don't like tripling up on teams at all, really. I like to sort of spread the risk a little bit more. But yeah, I don't like the look of the Villa triple up, even though Villa are playing really well. This is not something I want to do personally. I would rather have like 2 Villa, 1 Brighton. So yeah, I'm not gonna go for Bowen just because it doesn't leave me enough money to invest in a good fourth defender. Whereas if I go for Matoma, I can upgrade Kabore to several different defenders. I could upgrade him to Gabriel. I could go Gabriel for 4.7 million. I could go Burn if I wanted. If I wanted to go double Newcastle defense, I could. I'm not going to do that because of their fixtures though. I could go Colwell. Obviously, his fixtures aren't great at the moment, but they will turn in game week 16. So you could hold him as a fourth defender, play him if you need to play him, and then you've got a really good defender for game week 16 forward. And then another thing you could do is this is someone I really wanted to bring in. Soufal. I really wanted to bring Soufal in. Only has less than 3% ownership. He returned in 4 straight games right up until that Villa game. Villa obviously tanked them. But he has really good fixtures long term, so I really wanted to bring Soufal in, but he got injured, or he's kind of. I don't think he's like 100% confirmed out. It's kind of a similar situation to Udogie right now, where like he's available, but they might not risk him. So Soufal, I could have potentially brought him in this week, but I'm not going to. But if I go Saka Matoma this game week, then I can upgrade Kabore to like Soufal next week. Then it means I have cover defensively. And then my team would be in a really good place after that. I would have Cash, Lamptey, Trippier, Udogie, and Soufal. Tsimikas is another one as well. I talked about Tsimikas already, Alan. So yeah, Tsimikas is a good one as well. So you basically got the 3 main ones I would be picking between would be Tsimikas, Soufal, and Gabriel. I would say Soufal's close, to be honest. I would say Soufal's close, just because I feel like West Ham have a better chance of keeping clean sheets than Liverpool, just because of the way Liverpool play and the way West Ham play. I mean, I talked about this at the start of the stream. West Ham have not kept a lot of clean sheets this season, but I just think because they're a counter-attacking team, they're more likely to keep clean sheets than Liverpool, whereas Liverpool is like throw everybody forward and they do concede, but they end up outscoring people. Obviously, Simicast is better going forward than Sufal, so he's a better attacking threat, probably going to get more attacking returns. But I think Sufal is probably better for clean sheets, if we're being honest. So it would be between those two for me. You could probably have both. You could probably get rid of Udogie because his fixtures aren't ideal. But yeah, those would be the two I'd be picking from, and then Gabriel's a good third choice as well. I just don't really like having centre backs in my team. I like fullbacks. I like people who just bomb forward. My plan for so basically what I was looking at was so Kabore up to like let's say Simicast, like Seed just mentioned. Let me just search him here. Hold on, that's the easier thing to do, isn't it? Yeah, Simicast 4.5 million. So my plan was to go like Simicast, Kabore up to Simicast. I already have Saka Matoma, and in a couple of weeks I could. In a couple of weeks I could have went from Anderson. Yeah, that's what I can do still actually. Yeah. So, if I go for Saka and Matoma this week, then I go for Kabore out up to Simicast next week. Obviously, this is assuming there's no price changes between those times. Then it means that I could take Anderson out the week after, because obviously he's injured and he's not like a good FPL asset anyway. He was just thrown in my team so I could fit Son in. That was the only reason he was thrown in there. But it basically means that I could then go to either. Let me just lower this margin down quickly. So it means that I could go from Anderson to Palmer. Basically, Palmer was the one that I wanted to go to. His fixtures aren't great at the moment, but he would be a good fifth choice midfielder for the next few fixtures. And then I would have really good fixtures for him game week 16 forward. Everton, Sheffield, Wolves, Palace, Luton, Fulham. He's playing really well right now. Plus, he seems to be the main penalty taker. It's between him and Sterling, it seems. So that's my plan. Obviously, assuming that there's no price changes. West Ham have the second most shots conceded in a division with Luton and Sheffield United. Really, I did not know that. That surprises me. That surprises me a lot. Interesting. That kind of changes my perception a little bit. I won't lie. But I still feel like West Ham are good picks defensively. I don't know why. Even though they're facing a lot of shots. Even though they're facing a lot of shots, I don't feel like they're gonna get hammered every game. Obviously, they got hammered by Villa last game, but with the way they set up, I don't know. I don't feel like they're gonna get hammered. If we all felt that way, why do we all have Areola? You know what I mean? Just the price. Either that or shot save points. But yeah, that's like kind of the team you're looking at now. Like obviously I can't do all those transfers now. I can do 2 of them, but that's kind of like this team right here would be like where I'd be happy with it. Like I'd be happy with that position, and then obviously I would be able to make like luxury transfers here and there. Like if Udogie's fitness continues to be bad, I could get rid of him. I could maybe go Neto to Gordon. You know what I mean? Something like that. But yeah, that's where I want to get my team to. Lamptey's an annoying one. Lamptey's a really annoying one because if he had been fit for me this week, I would have just started him instead of Udogie. That would have been the play. But if any of you guys like have any questions or like you're having any dilemmas with your team, let me know in the comments so that I can like stop stressing about my dilemma for a second. Because I really, really want to try and figure out what I'm gonna do. Because if I get a leak here that Udogie's not starting, then I'm gonna have to just go with a defender upgrade, aren't I? That's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm just keeping an eye on Twitter I'll just show it on the screen, like, but I'm just keeping an eye on Twitter as much as I can. Oh, there we go, boys. That's definitely not that's fake, by the way. I love when people fall for this shit. Like, you can literally see the sign there saying Tour 2023. People like this are the fucking worst who tweet this shit. You can literally see the preseason tour logo on the bus. Udogie coming off the bus. No news on Udogie. It's a late fitness test. Here, look at this. That is why I'm getting rid of Richarlison. Because I knew for a fact that I mentioned this in my video yesterday. I mean, I'm not sure if this is an accurate source, by the way, but I think this is going to happen anyway. I mentioned this in yesterday's video that I thought that because Brennan Johnson's back fit, Richarlison's going to be dropped. So that's why Richarlison was only a 2-game punt for me. It's no Udogie news, man. Come on, give me a team league. Give me a team league. I'm going to make my transfers about 6:15, I'd say. It's 10-6 right now, so we've got a bit more ranting to go. But, yeah, the only news we have still is that Udogie is fit. He's available. I've got Watkins on captain right now. I'm considering switching to Saka. I think you should switch to Saka just so you're not copying me, because Watkins is going to bag me a hat trick. And then if he bags a hat trick and you don't have him captain, I'm going to fly ahead of you. I think that's what you should do. But you know what though, Sid? I'm like, I know obviously me and you have got him captain and we're like first and second in the mini league right now. But I'm really surprised how much people are not captaining Watkins this week. Like, there is a good amount of people captaining him. He'll probably have, like, I'd say 20% maybe captaincy, maybe 15. You better hope the servers don't overload. Yeah, I'm fucked if the servers overload. I'm fucked if the servers overload. Nah, we'll be good. We'll be good. But yes, I'm surprised there's not more people captaining Watkins. To be honest, I'm really surprised. A lot of people are just sticking by Salah, and like Salah is a good captaincy option for this week, but I mentioned this in yesterday's video. He was really lucky to even get the goals he got against Everton. One was a penalty and one was like a last minute goal that was scored because Everton pushed everyone up the pitch and they were down to 10 men already, and it was just a swift counter. But Salah's a bit inevitable at the moment, isn't he? But I don't know, even though they're playing at Anfield, Forest is a tricky... Like, Forest went to Stamford Bridge, and I know obviously Liverpool are way better than Chelsea, but Forest went to Stamford Bridge and kept a clean sheet. So, I don't think that one's going to be as straightforward as people think. Or at least I'm hoping so anyway, because for the third week in a row, I'm going against Salah as captain, so I'm hoping that he doesn't punish me again. I'm really hoping he doesn't punish me again. And then next week... Yeah, exactly, Alan. I don't expect much room for him. It's gonna have to be like another penalty or something if he returns, I think. But yeah, that's the thing. He punished me the last 2 weeks for not captaining him. He might do it again this week, and he might do it next week because Salah's got Luton away next week. So like realistically, you'd be licking your lips at that, thinking 100% he's captain. But I'm not. There's no shot that I'm not captaining Haaland when he's playing Bournemouth at home. I'm sorry, it just has to be done. Bournemouth are terrible this season. Saka and Watkins will be gifted goals. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping anyway. But then again, when Spurs played Luton the other week, everyone expected Spurs to absolutely batter Luton. Now, obviously, you have to keep in mind that Spurs went down to 10 men, so that had an effect on the game. But Spurs scraped a 1-0 against Luton. So that was away from home, though. That was at Luton. The thing that gives me confidence about Watkins this week is he's playing at home. And like I mentioned in yesterday's video, let's look at the last few home games for Villa. The last home game was against West Ham. Villa win 4-1. Watkins gets a goal and an assist. Home game before that, Brighton. They beat Brighton 6-1. Watkins scores a hat-trick and gets 2 assists. The home game before that, Palace spanked Palace 3-1. He only got an assist in that game, but there were the battered Palace. Then the home game before that, they batter Everton 4-0. Watkins only got an assist in that game as well. But my point is, Villa are absolutely battering people at home right now, and I refuse to believe they don't batter Luton at home as well. And if they do batter Luton at home with the form Watkins is in now, I can't see him not getting at least a couple. And yeah, Spurs were battering Luton, I know that, but they didn't actually like batter them on paper, if you know what I mean. Like they didn't put 2, 3, 4 past them like everyone expected. But like I say, that was obviously down to the fact that they went down to 10 men. So had to play the game a little bit differently. But yeah, I think Watkins is nailed on for captain for me. If I pull that up now. Yeah. I've got Watkins as my captain. And Salah as vice. Saying all this though, you know what's going to happen? Haaland's going to score a hat. Haaland's going to score a hat trick against United. Like, I'm a United fan. I don't want to say it, but have you seen how shit we are? Have you seen how shit we're playing right now? Copenhagen had more XG against us at Old Trafford. Like, how's that happen? I'll actually pull that up right now. United, Copenhagen. Can I pull up XG stats from this? No, there's no in-depth stats on that. There it is, yeah. There it is. Like, come on. Fuck's sake, like, that's Copenhagen. What do you think Man City is going to do to us? Jesus Christ. I know obviously we won that game, but like, Jesus Christ. My God. It's worrying. It's very worrying times. But yeah, Haaland could easily get a hat trick. I remember last season when Haaland was playing United, I didn't captain him, and he scored a hat trick and got 2 assists against United. But saying that, that was at the Etihad, so that's different. When Haaland played at Old Trafford last season, he blanked. But that's when United were actually United had Martinez and stuff for that game. Like we had our full strength team basically. We had Luke Shaw, we had Martinez, we had Varane, we had Wan-Bissaka, we had Dalot. I think Dalot played that game, right? Yeah. Wan-Bissaka is back in training today, by the way, so it would be nice if he... I don't think he's going to play in the derby, but it would be really, really good if he did, because he would be very helpful to have against Doku. Doku, I have a feeling Doku is probably going to start and destroy Dalot. I love Dalot, but Doku's just really, really good. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. But yeah, just going to keep an eye on the Udogie news still, see if we'll get anything. I really doubt we're going to get a leak, to be honest. I really, really doubt it. Everybody has the same feeling as me. Udogie, I need your room down to 10. Fuck. Just let me, just FPL gods, please. Just let me have this. Just let me have this, please. Just give me the Udogie news. Give me it. Give me it before 6. It's well 6 now. Give me it before 6:30. I don't want to have to transfer him out, man. That's the same. Do I just play Gabore? Do I just make the attacking transfers and play Gabore? I don't really want to do that, like, but I might have to. I might just fucking have to. But then he's gonna have minus, isn't he? I can't. There's no way I can. If you have him, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just convince myself that he starts. Boys, it's a tough one. But yeah, I mean, I definitely need to get rid of Richarlison for sure. Son feels harsh to get rid of, man. It really does feel harsh to get rid of him. If I transfer Son out tonight, I'm gonna be the biggest Crystal Palace fan for tonight. But look, I don't know if I'm the only one, right? But see this see this see this Spurs versus Palace game tonight. It has a 0-0 written all over it, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Like, if anything, it's maybe 1-0 Spurs. And it'll be like Madison that scores. I actually think that Madison's a better pick than Son. I only picked Son because I had the spare money and I was like, fuck it. But I actually think Madison's a better pick than Son. Because in games like this, where Palace are going to be sitting back and playing like a low block, who's the guy that's going to create the chances? Madison. And Son's not necessarily going to be in the end of all of them. What's my rank? My rank is 305k, so it should be higher. I wish it was higher. It definitely would have been higher if I captained Salah the last 2 weeks, but I didn't. I captained Haaland last week, and captained Haaland last week and the week before. If I captained Salah for the last 2 weeks, I would have been like easily top 30k. But I mean, 300k is still good. Still good. We're getting there. There's some long-term picks that paid off for me. Having Salah since game week 1 definitely paid off. I can't believe. Can you guys believe, like, it doesn't feel like that long ago, but like people actually went into this season with the template being Bruno, Rashford, and then like 6.5 mids. And like the 6.5 mids were great, but like people actually went into this season with Bruno and Rashford thinking that was better than Salah. And this is me as a United fan saying this. Like, Salah's just inevitable, man. I love Bruno and Rashford, but Bruno and Rashford, nah, Salah's the better pick. I couldn't believe it. Like, I when I put Salah in my team, when I picked my team at the start of the season, I assumed that everyone else was doing it because he's like so good. Like, everyone was saying how bad of a season he had last season, and I was like, he scored like 18 goals and assisted 12. I'm like, how's that a bad season? Like, he really did suffer from the LeBron effect. If he's not putting up 30, then he's bad. People are crazy, man. I mean, it could have backfired, but I mean, I don't know. I thought Salah was nailed. You think 0-0? You think the Salah transfer rumors played a part? I don't know, man. Like, that had no effect on me whatsoever, man. And the transfer rumors only really come in towards the end of the window when the season had already started. And Salah's media team and Salah himself had come out and said, like, we're not leaving. We're here to stay. So I don't think it had any effect on it at all. I think people genuinely thought that Bruno and Rashford would cover the points that Salah would get. But, I mean, to be fair, I don't think anybody expected United to be this bad this season. They had such a good season last season, and everybody expected them to kick on, and they haven't. They haven't yet. I think they will sort it out. I think because, like I mentioned earlier, United stats, like underland stats. So one thing that Ten Hag wanted to do when he brought in a lot of the players he's brought in now was he wanted to turn United into like a counter pressing team. Not even just counter pressing, but just pressing in general. And their pressing stats, they're top of the league for pressing in the opposition half and like turnovers and stuff. The problem is when they're forcing those turnovers, they're not taking the chances. There's so many games I can think of where like we've created a really good chance from a high press and we've not taken the chance. Against Sheffield the other week, we should have beat Sheffield like 5 or 6 with the amount of chances that we're creating from turnovers. So United assets have been unlucky. I'm so glad Kane left and made decision making so much easier, bro. Could you imagine if we had Kane to pick from here? Like, it would be the biggest headache in the world trying to pick between Watkins, Haaland, Alvarez, Kane for the front four. And then obviously Kane takes up a lot of budget as well, so then you can't get the likes of Son. You maybe can't get Salah as well. Bro, it would have been so difficult. It would have been really fun, but it would have been really difficult to pick a team. I probably would have went with Kane though. I went with Kane all last season pretty much. He was nailed in my team for a while. Still nothing for Udogie. I think I'm just gonna have to risk it and assume that he starts. The only thing, is this a reliable source? No, probably not. I always had to go Haaland and Kane. Yeah. That's what I done as well, Haaland and Kane. What's this guy saying? Oh, that's Paul O'Keefe guy replied to that like lineups page, but so obviously the first update we had from this Paul O'Keefe guy was Udogie's fine and available for selection, but so is Davies. It's up to Ange to decide who starts. And in the latest update we've had, when this like stupid account, don't trust this account, tweeted about like co-tweeted that Udogie thing, he replied saying, remember that Spurs played Monday night, 3-day turnaround effectively, so fresh legs are definitely a possibility. Come on. This is not good. This is not. I do not want to transfer out a defender this week. I don't want to do it. The only one I was considering was Trippier, so to keep Son. So here, so hold on, Seed and Jags, you've both transferred out Son this week. You guys are the biggest Crystal Palace fans tonight. But yeah, I don't know, like I was saying earlier, and obviously Al, you had the same thought. 0-0. It just has a 0-0 written all over it. Like, you're getting excited for the weekend. Friday night football's on. 0-0 against Palace at Selhurst Park. It has a 0-0 written all over it, man. It really does. It really does. We've got we've just got over 20 minutes till the deadline. But yeah, from what I'm hearing on like from the way I perceive this tweet, he played Monday night 3-day turnaround. Fresh legs are definitely a possibility. That doesn't make it sound like Udogie's injured. That just sounds like there might be a rotation because the games were that close together. That's what it sounds like to me. Doesn't sound like a serious injury. You took him out on Sunday. Nice. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to take him out, but I think I'm just gonna have to. That's like, I said this a couple of weeks ago, coming into like this fixture run. There's so many fixture swings between several different teams for the next couple of weeks. There's gonna be so many like players we're gonna have to transfer out just to what do you call it? I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, you're basically just transferring good players out for other good players. You're just playing the fixtures right now. Now that we say that, guaranteed Son hat trick. Probably, mate. Probably. Come on, just one more refresh. Give me an Udogie update. Give me it. Give me it. Everybody's just in the same boat as me. We need you, Udogie. Come on, please. Please. Fuck, man. But there is a strong part of me tempted to just keep Son. I could realistically just do this. I could just go Richarlison out to Matoma and just roll my transfer and keep my team like that. I could do that, but I don't want to do that because Saka has Sheffield United at home. I can't not have Saka for Sheffield United at home, right? Right. I mean, Son blanked against Sheffield United at home. Saka could do it too. I'm just trying to gaslight myself now, really. That's what I'm trying to do. My god. People are just, look at all these trolls, man. Look at all these trolls. That's sound got me, to be fair. People actually fell for this. People actually fell for a picture of Udogie coming off the fucking tour, the preseason tour bus. Oh fucking hell. That's funny. That's funny, man. Uh There's so many people just making shit up, bro. It's so fun going through this. Just making up Udogie news. Oh, people are just making this shit up. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, let's be honest, the smart thing for me to do right now, like the sensible thing for me to do right now, would be Kabore up to I don't even know if I can do this actually. Yeah, I can. So the smart thing for me to do would be Kabore out and up to Simicast. Because Simicast obviously has Forest at home this week and then Luton away next week. So I could do that and then just go Sun to Saka. That would be the sensible thing for me to do this week, right? That gives me cover for Udogie. I don't have to hope Udogie starts because that's the thing. Palace away isn't a great fixture anyway. Seeing people's transferring in Martinelli, not sure why. I think Trossard plays against Sheffield United, to be honest. No, I think Martinelli will play against Sheffield. The reason I wouldn't go with Martinelli though is because Jesus is out injured again, and Martinelli plays really, really well with Jesus. But now that Jesus is injured, it's going to be Nketiah up front, presumably, or Trossard as a false nine, maybe. And yeah, basically, anytime I've watched Martinelli when he doesn't have Jesus, like playing as a false nine, linking up play and stuff, he doesn't look as good. I don't know. And when he's played with Trossard, they kind of get in each other's way a little bit. I don't know. I don't. Martinelli's an okay pick, but if you're going to go for an Arsenal player, it has to be Saka, right? He's outperforming every other Arsenal player in terms of his attacking stats, so has to be Saka for me. But yeah, these moves would be the sensible thing for me to do. But then the problem with that is I still got Richarlison because I can't go like Richarlison's not going to start tonight. It's going to be Brennan Johnson tonight. I can't go from Richarlison to Matoma if I go Simicast. If I go Kabore to Simicast, I can't go Richarlison to Matoma. And I don't want to take Udogie out because he's probably just going to miss this game, then he'll be back the next game. So I don't want to take him out completely. So yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I don't know. I really don't want to just take Udogie out. If I do that, then I can still go. I can go like Richarlison out and Matoma. This is something I could do too, but then I still don't have Saka. Martinelli has less points than Rice. Yeah, that's crazy. I wouldn't consider Martinelli personally. So I'm in the same boat as you. Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes, and if I haven't heard anything, then I'm gonna I think I'm just gonna maybe have to transfer him out, to be honest. Transfer Udogie out. Because I can't afford to go Kabore up to Simicast this week. Because then I'll be stuck with Richarlison. I can't do it. Can't do it. Unless I go Palmer. But then, yeah, I don't know. I want Matoma. That's the thing as well, though. Like, worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, okay? Worst case scenario, we've got Udogie, right? And he doesn't play. But if we bring in Saka, but like, I'm trying to like figure out where I'm going with this in my head. So let me just completely reset the team. Okay, there we go. So this is what my team's looking like right now. So the worst case scenario for me tonight is Udogie is on the bench or whatever, right? Or he doesn't play at all. So he's going to be 0 points, right? That's the worst case scenario. But that might be better than either one going from Son to Saka, right? And then doing that whole thing I was talking about with Kabore up to Simicast. Because then you're stuck with Richarlison. And he's not going to start either. Because not due to injury or anything, but because Brennan Johnson's fit. I highly doubt that Richarlison starts tonight. I highly doubt it. Because Brennan Johnson's is far better. So it's better for me to just take the risk on Udogie, I think. And if he doesn't start, he doesn't start. It's whatever. But at least I'll have Matoma and Saka in my team that way. And I think they have a really, really good chance of scoring a lot of points this week. Because I'm not, no way am I leaving myself with Richarlison. Can't do it. Or, worst case scenario, again, I could take a hit. I could take a hit, just get rid of Kabore, bring Simicast in, take a 4-point hit, and just put Udogie in the bench. I could take a hit. That's an option. But I don't really... The thing is, I don't like taking a hit on defenders. I don't like taking a hit on defenders at all. Because there's not really much payoff. Like, unless Simicast goes out and scores, like... unless Simicast keeps a clean sheet and gets an assist or something, the payoff, like... It's not guaranteed to pay off, just taking a hit on that, you know? Maybe it pays off, like, long term, but... I don't like taking hits when, like, unless I really, like, I have to, you know? Unless I have to. And I don't think I have to. But that is an option. That is an option. But I don't think we're going to get any Udogie news. I don't think we're going to get any Udogie news at all. So, yeah. I think it's in God's hands now, boys. I think it's in God's hands. I'm not even religious, but help me out. Help me out. Hit's not worth it. I agree. You know what would be perfect? I remember there was a point last season, right, where for some reason, I don't know what it was, but for some reason I brought Bernardo Silva in as a 1 week punt, right? And Sid was like, "What the hell are you doing, Brendan and Bernardo Silva?" He was right, because Bernardo Silva ended up being on the bench, right? But then guess what happens? Bernardo Silva comes off a bench in like the 75th minute and scores. And I would just absolutely love it if Udogie came off the bench tonight, 70th minute, go out and see the go on and see the game out, mate. Help us get this result, and he scores. That would be the funniest thing ever. If he just, oh, I would love that so much. I would love that. Just be so jammy, you know. Yeah. Just play the fixtures. Yep. Yeah. So, I'm pretty much set. This is going to be my transfers, right? I'm set on this. Forget this week. Long run is most important. Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to take a hit just for this week. But yeah, my transfers this week, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take Son out. I'm like 99% sure it's going to be Son out. Sadly, I really don't want it to be, but I think that's going to be what it is. So it'll be... I really do want to keep Son, But I just think that Matoma is too good to pass up on for these 4 weeks. Like, look at those 4 weeks of fixtures there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. I can't pass up on that. I can't do it. So we're gonna take the risk with Udogie. Fingers crossed he starts. And yeah. Saka and Matoma better deliver. Hopefully. Hopefully, fingers crossed. There's another team not captaining Watkins. It is really so. Out of curiosity, Jags, who are you captaining? I don't know if you mentioned who you're captaining. The guy that tweeted that bust in is like, I don't know if Udogie starts, I swear. What a fucking troll. What a troll. Predicted lineups, all putting Udogie in. You've put Salah as captain. Yeah, you can't really argue against Salah, can you? I just think Watkins, man. I think Watkins is gonna cook. I think he's gonna cook. Everybody's just tweeting at all the fucking like reliable sources. Give us some fucking Udogie news. Oh, look at this guy. He's starting Udogie. The Heisenberg guy. Yeah, fuck it, boys. It's time. We'll just have to accept their fate. We're going for it. It's going to be Son out and Richarlison out, and we're bringing in Saka and Matoma. Done. It's done. We're done. It's done. I'm sorry, Son. I'm sorry. Son. I'm sorry. Son. I'm sorry, Son. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Son's crying. Cheers. Cheers, lads. Son's crying. Cheers. Son's crying. He's going to score a hat-trick tonight, isn't he? It's not going to be fun to watch at all. He's definitely going to score a fucking hat-trick, isn't he? It's fucking coming. Cheers, Son's crying. Cheers. Nah, it's 0-0. It's a 0-0. 0-0 all day. Maybe 1-0 Spurs, but Madison's going to score, so it won't make a difference. Someone's going to be so confused coming into this stream and just seeing me with a picture of Son crying on my screen. Oh, shit. Cheers, Son's crying. Sorry, Son. I'm sorry. Oh, you captain, Son? You're captain the Son against Palace? Away? That's a brave move, girl. That's brave. I respect it. Right, so this is my confirmed team here. So the question is, lads, Watkins or Saka as captain? I'm sorry, Seed. Look, I'm sorry. I'm just not a good person. I'm a terrible person. The thing is, like, I know I'm a United fan, but I love Son, man. I love him. He seems like such a nice guy, and he's a class player as well. I'm sorry, Son. It's okay, Geralt's looking after him for me. Look, Alan, you know what it is? I just didn't feel like I was capable of looking after him, so I'm letting Geralt look after him because he's a teacher after all, you know. Palace are dog water right now. Not at home. Not at home, Geralt. You're basing this off the fact that they got beat 4-0 by Newcastle last week, but that was at St. James Park. Palace are not going to score tonight. Palace are terrible right now in terms of attacking threat because they're missing Lise and Eze, but their defense is pretty good. Anderson and Guy. I'll keep your Son safe. Please keep him safe, but tell him not to score tonight, please. Tell him the word protection. He's not scoring tonight. But yeah, this is my confirmed team for game week 10. I'm actually really happy with it, to be honest. I know that I don't have Son, and that's annoying. Obviously, Udogie's flagged, so we'll have to just hope that he starts. Fingers crossed he keeps. Fingers crossed it's a 0-0. 0-0 would be perfect for me if Udogie starts. That would be absolutely perfect for me. But yeah, I'm happy enough on my team. I didn't want to take out Son, but Saka and Matoma are just too good to pass up on right now. Like, look at those fixtures, man. Look at them. I couldn't pass up on them. But my mindset could completely change after about 9 o'clock tonight. I fail you without protection, though I'd be out of a job. Fucking hell. That's true, girl. That is true. Oh, I love you, girl, man. I missed you, bro. Cheers, son's crying. Oh yeah, I love Nato, man. Nato's a great budget pick. Look at that. He's returned in 7 games in a row. 7 games in a row he's returned. He's definitely getting an assist against. He's definitely getting an assist against Newcastle, and he's gonna bag a hat trick against Sheffield United. Easy, easy. No, but Nato is a good budget option. He's good, like, to just rotate in and out when you need him. For next week, my transfers are probably going to be like, I'm going to figure out a way to get a 4th defender in. Probably going to be like Kabore up to Simicast, like I mentioned before. And then I'm probably going to go Anderson up to Palmer. And then my team's going to be in a really good spot. I could have, like, tried to figure out a way to keep Son. I could have tried to do that, but getting rid of Son now, with his fixtures not being, like, completely ideal, just frees up a bit of money for me to, like, make my team, to turn my team, basically give myself better bench depth, because I literally have no bench depth right now. That's my biggest issue. No bench depth. Odegaard over Saka and Pau Torres over Cash. Ooh, nah, I don't like that. Wildcard team: Areola, Pau Torres, Gabriel, Simicast, Salah, Odegaard, Gordon, Matoma, Alvarez, Watkins, Haaland, bench, Neto, Salah, Taylor. I mean, like, Odegaard's a good pick for the Sheffield United game, but long term, Saka's a better pick than Odegaard, and there's a 0.1 million difference between them. Odegaard's 8.5 million, Saka's 8.6. If you have the extra 0.1 million, I 100% would go Saka. Odegaard could outscore him tomorrow for the get to Sheffield game, but Saka's a better pick long term. Like, Saka is massively outperforming Odegaard in terms of attacking data right now. So I would be going Saka over Odegaard if I were you. Let me see the rest of the team. I would definitely go Cash over Pau Torres if you have the money for Cash, 100%. Cash is the highest. Cash, out of all the defenders in the game, has the highest XG. He's taking a lot of touches in the opposition box and stuff, so definitely Cash over Pau Torres if you have the money for him. Obviously, I know it's financially limited. You could definitely go. Let me see who else you have. Ariel is good. Gabriel's okay. Yep. Simicast is good. Salah. Yep. Gordon, good. Good budget option. Matoma's good. Alvarez, Watkins, Haaland is great. Yep. That's my front 3 too. Turner, Neto, Delo, Taylor. Yeah, I like that bench as well. So what I would do if I were you is I would probably go, I would take, because Delo's like 5 million, right? I would probably lower Delo down to a cheaper defender, like maybe Sufal, and upgrade Pau Torres to Cash. I think you have to have Cash, man. Cash is a must. He's too good to pass up on right now. And if you don't want to spend the 5 million on Cash, you can maybe go Digne. But Cash is really, really impressive this season. I've had him since game week 1, by the way, so I'm not just saying it because his fixtures all of a sudden are really good. He plays as a right winger, basically, so I would be keeping him if I were you. Here, let me take a screenshot of my team quickly before the game updates. Let me do it on my phone, actually, right? Second. Watkins is locked in as my captain, though, lads. I'm not though. second. Right, okay. Cash is a must, bloody capitalist pig. Look, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I don't know. You know what? I was sitting ranting the boo boo about what changes you can make. I don't even know how to pronounce his name right either, but I don't even know if he had time to make them. But yeah, it's obviously the deadline's passed now, so it's too late, bro. But yeah, I definitely would have. I would have lowered the low down to a cheaper defender and made sure that you had cash, and then I would have went Saka over Odegaard as well. I think not having Saka is just too much of a risk. Now that's the same as well. Odegaard could go out tomorrow and just like kill it, but I just don't think he's a better long term option than Saka. I'm probably not going to be able to pull up Odegaard's stats, am I? No. But yeah, I think Saka's a better pick long term than Odegaard. He's the like standout Arsenal. It was a bit closer last season. Last season, it was like Martinelli, Saka, and Odegaard all done really well. They had like kind of similar statistics, but Saka this season's been the standout. So yeah. So this is my confirmed team: Areola, Trippier, Cash, Udogie, Saka, Matoma, Salah, Neto, Watkins, Haaland, Alvarez. The only thing I'm not happy with in that starting 11 is Udogie potentially won't start. Sounds grand. Let me see. Right. Let me just get your team seed. Oh, I knew you were gonna go Trent. I knew you were gonna fucking do it, bro. I had a feeling in my head when you were talking about like, oh, going for this like differential who no one really has. Trent only has like 2%. I don't know if it's 2%, but Trent has less than 10% ownership, right? And he has really good fixtures. Trent is a good shout, man. Trent is a good shout, I'll give you that, but I don't know, man. That's a risk. That's a risk to be taken when you're top of the table, man. No Alvarez either. Like that's the thing. I like the Trent pick, Alan, right? But I'm just like I'm comparing that to my team. I just did the Cash and Saka move. Good luck. Yo, no worries, man. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And by the way, look, if it backfires, you can hold me accountable for that one. You can hold me accountable. Fair play getting those changes done that quick. But yeah, look, I stand by my advice though. Even if Odegaard goes out tomorrow and scores a hat trick, I still stand by the fact that Saka is a better long term pick than him. He just is. So like Odegaard could go out and have one good game week, but Saka is probably going to get you a goal or assist every week. So obviously every week that he's fit. So yeah, and then Cash, mate. Cash is so good. This can I actually get like a heat map up of Cash? Matty Cash heat map. Can I get that? Yeah. So this is Matty Cash's heat map this season. If you can see that on the right side. Let me zoom in on it a little bit. Hold on. Can you guys see that okay? So obviously he plays right back, but like look obviously where he's getting a lot of these touches. A lot of it in the opposition half. And like I said earlier as well, his attacking data, like his XG, is higher than every other defender in the league. If I can pull that up here. Yeah, look at that. Per 90, he's averaging 0.35 XG, which doesn't sound good, but for a defender, that's really good. 3.1 XG total. So yeah, I think Cash, I don't think you're going to regret Cash, and I don't think you're going to regret Saka. Pity he won't get an assist when Saka passes up another pen. Yo, that's a thing though. Like the amount of penalties that Saka's been giving away recently, we deserve to have an assist for it, don't we? Matty Cash, the Polish Roberto Carlos, like half Polish. Yeah. 2 premium players out, 2 premium players in. That's what Alan. That's what I'm be saying for the next like, because there's so many fixture swings over the next like 10 weeks. We're just gonna be transferring good players out for other good players. That's all we're gonna be doing. Just playing the premium player hokey pokey. You take your Son out, you bring your Saka in, out, shake it all about. You bring in Matoma, and you sell Richarlison. That's what it's all about. There you go. That's what we're doing. No, we're just playing the premium player hokey pokey. In and out, in and out. But that's, yeah, look, that's what you have to do. You have to play the fixtures, don't you? So, yeah. We'll keep an eye on the lineups for the, obviously I'm not going to be live much longer, but we'll keep an eye on the lineups for the Spurs game to see if Udogie does start. If Udogie starts, in happy days. If he doesn't, it is what it is. It is what it is if he doesn't start. There's a FPL tip zone saying Udogie doesn't start. You could have told me that 10 minutes ago. It doesn't matter though. I don't think that's right. Home of all things Spurs, blah blah blah. Destin Udogie's with the squad. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. See what happens, boys. Leave my son Saka out of this. Weakness, long balls. Yeah, I can imagine that slows him down a bit. Wow. Did you really just make that joke? Yes, here, what I was saying about your team though, Alan, before I go. I like the Trent pick, especially with his fixtures coming up. His fixtures are really, really good for the next while. My thing though is like, I'm very confident because obviously Trent is like 7.9 million or something, right? 8 million, 7.9, I think it is. And obviously Lyle Foster is a good pick because he's got good fixtures as well. Burnley are actually a pretty attacking team. So I really do like this team. It's a great team. But that being said, I've got Alvarez and you don't. And I've still got Trippier. And I'm pretty confident that Trippier will outscore. I'm pretty sure Trippier. I'm pretty confident Trippier and Alvarez outscore Trent and Foster. Even though they've got harder fixtures. I don't know. Trent could just go bag 3 assists tomorrow, but I think the Trent that we see now is different than the Trent we seen like 4 years ago. Like when Trent was getting assists, galore, he was basically playing as a winger, right? I don't really think he plays as a winger anymore. He's now playing more as a midfielder. Like he starts at right back, but then he just inverts right away. So he's more like in the team to like dictate the tempo. And yes, he's still in a position to get assists deep from midfield, but he's no longer in that position, or at least I don't see him in that position anymore, or as commonly, where he's like getting to the byline, getting a cross in, or getting an early cross in. Like, I don't know. It's his role's a little bit different, and I'm just not a big fan of his new role. So that's why I personally didn't even consider Trent. But if it pays off for you, then happy days, because he's definitely a differential pick. I don't know what his ownership is. I think it's definitely less than 10%, right? Just because his price is so high. But if that pays off for you, then it's an absolute masterclass, mate. Absolute masterclass. The rest of the team's really good too. And we're both just hoping Udogie starts, aren't we? Well, you've got the low on the bench, so you're fine. You're fine for cover. Yes, good luck, boo-boo. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Son's crying. I'm sorry, son. I'm still sad about transferring Son out. But yes, I'm going to head off here. I need to get some food, and then I need to do a bit more work, and then I'm probably going to chill and watch the match for a bit. And fingers crossed, Son blanks. We're all hoping for a Son blank tonight. I'm the biggest Crystal Palace fan tonight. 0-0 would be perfect. We're hoping for a 0-0. But yes, guys, I appreciate you all watching and tuning in and stuff. Make sure that if you're new here, make sure you're in the Discord. I would really appreciate you guys. If obviously I know a lot of people in here are already in the Discord anyway, but if there is anyone new in here, I'm gonna put the Discord link in the chat in a second. There you go. So make sure you join the Discord if you're not already, because we are like super active in there, talking about FPL pretty much every day. And I try and keep everyone up. I try to keep everyone in there as up to date as I possibly can with like price changes, team news, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Watching Gravenberch the last few games, Trent doesn't need to get forward. Man is up and down that pit. Yeah, Gravenberch is great. Could easily happen. That's the risk I take. We'll see. Look, I fucking respect the risk. That's what it's all about, mate. Just a bit of fun at the end of the day, isn't it? So I respect the risk. Hopefully it pays off for you. I mean, I kind of half mean that because I do want to see you do well because you're my friend, but at the same time I also want first place. So yeah, fingers crossed that it like kind of works for you. But like not enough to beat me. Is what I mean basically. But yes, good luck with your game week 10, and yeah, I'll talk to you in the Discord and stuff, and I'll see you later. Peace.